Hannah Collins inspects equipment at her father's fishing pier while the morning mist hangs over Eagles Point Harbor. 5 members of the Steel Vipers, the most infamous gang in 3 states, arrive at the marina's gravel parking lot with their leader Drake Thompson, shattering the tranquil scene as the rumble of motorcycles approaches. Dismounts first. So what do we have? It appears that a young girl is playing with boats here. Even though Hannah is afraid that this is a private charter business, she keeps working steadily and says, "Unless you have a booking, I'll need to ask you to leave." The bikers laugh. The Steel Vipers don't require reservations. We go wherever we want, when we want, inside the marina office, as Drake moves closer, encroaching on her personal space as his men surround her. Out on the lake, Mike Henderson anxiously watches as he dials a number he knows by heart. When Daniel Collins' phone buzzes while he is teaching a family how to fish, Mike's voice instantly draws him in. The Steel Vipers, Dan, have just arrived and are circling Hannah like sharks. "I'll be there," Daniel calmly responds at the dock. As Drake gets closer to Hannah, "We've been considering enlarging our domain. Eagles Point Harbor appears to be a pleasant location, ideal for a new clubhouse. However, Hannah asserts firmly that you are intruding on private property." Drake chuckles. "Whoever is strong enough to take it has ownership of everything here." The rumble of a boat approaching breaks the tension. The Daniel Collins charter boat docks again. Daniel's eyes scan the scene, taking in every detail with the precision of a man who has spent years in combat. All the Steel Vipers see is a simple fisherman returning to port. Drake turns slightly at the sound, but he doesn't back away, giving the impression that Daddy is coming home well. Perhaps he can teach us all about fishing. After safely escorting his clients to their cars, Daniel quickly and efficiently ties off his boat and enters the dock, walking leisurely toward the group. "If it's not Daddy, dearest," Drake calls out just in time for the celebration. "Hannah." Daniel says in a steady voice that everything is fine here. Drake interrupts, saying that we were talking about business prospects, and that this marina may need some new management. I see no change in Daniel's expression, and you would be the new management. Strong take what they want, weak learn to live with it, or don't live with it. It's up to them. Drake claims that's an intriguing way of thinking. Daniel calmly responds, "I have a lot of experience with that." Drake then goes on to describe their defense mechanism. Daniel says, "It's not a question. You're just threatening my daughter. Examine your surroundings, elderly man." Drake chuckles. "There are 5 of us, and your daughter is attractive, but she doesn't count math. Isn't that difficult? Or can numbers be deceiving?" When Drake and his men advance to attack, Daniel responds gently and doesn't show or raise his hands. "Fear, he simp L waits, last chance walks away, and we forget this happened." Drake takes a chain off his belt, "But we've already left." The old man tank charges at Daniel at first, but it's nothing but air as the older man dodges with nuanced effectiveness. Marcus draws a knife, but his wrist is abruptly disarmed. Awkwardly twisted, Drake asks for his confidence, cracking him like a fisherman. "Who are you?" Daniel gently responds, "As I mentioned, numbers can be deceiving, as the bikers keep trying in vain to attack." Hannah proudly watches her father fight. She had never seen him before and had no idea that he was there. Daniel manages all 5 men with ease. Before it reaches his waistband, Drake grabs a gun. Drake is sent flying across the dock with the gun after Daniel locks his arm. Working as a SEAL for 15 years, Daniel says to be calm and understand what that means. It indicates that I have forgotten more about fighting than you will ever realize, and that, from the perspective of the bikers, threatening my daughter was the most foolish thing you have ever done. The difference between them is explained by Daniel, who says that their bravado has evaporated. Knowing when not to fight, Marcus breaks the silence, and I don't need to prove anything. "He's right, boss. We didn't come here to fight a damn SEAL. We came here for easy money." The younger bikers follow me out, backing up toward their bikes. Daniel addresses the withdrawing men directly, saying, "You all have military training, don't you?" Marcus nods. "Most of us left the club because we couldn't figure out how to return to civilian life. The club gave us a structure and a purpose called brotherhood, but this isn't brotherhood. There's a difference between being strong and being a bully," Daniel admits, adding, with understanding, "This is bullying, and you're better than that." Tank admits, "I was Army 2 tours in Afghanistan, got out, felt lost. The club made me something I never wanted to be." In the distance, police sirens blare, and Sheriff Wilson and Deputy Martinez arrive to discover Daniel composedly holding Drake pinned to the dock. Daniel assures them that the men you were before, the warriors, the soldiers, the protectors, are still there. You simply forgot them for a while. Things are under control. To the surprise of the sheriff, Daniel informs them that these gentlemen were perplexed as to who owned the property. Marcus approaches with a military weapon. "Sir, We would like to willingly turn ourselves in. These men are veterans, Daniel explains. They briefly got lost, but I believe they're prepared to find their way once more. A Portland Veterans Program is mentioned by Sheriff Wilson, a veteran himself. Daniel says the marina is constantly searching for good helpers who understand discipline, know boats, and once you've done the work, there's a place for you. After everything, Razor asks, trust is earned, he says. 1 month later, Daniel reads letters from the former Steel Vipers tank leads in the morning PT, but he responds that everyone deserves the opportunity to earn it. Even though Razor is improving, Marcus plans veteran support groups. 3 months after the altercation, Daniel addresses a group of veterans, former gang members, and community leaders at the recently opened Veteran Support Center in Portland, which was renovated by the same people who used to deal in intimidation. I didn't plan any of this, he says. I simply knew that the center couldn't be bustling with activity in one room anymore. Marcus is the facilitator of a support group, and another Razor provides vocational training. The former clubhouse of the gang has been converted into a facility for job training. 6 months later, the former Steel Vipers clubhouse is now a community center that hosts V-support meetings, and Tank leads a group of veterans on a monthly therapy ride at Eagles Point Harbor. You are aware of the true change. Tank requests to observe ex-gang members instructing neighborhood children in boat safety. As the sun sets over Eagles Point Harbor, we not only cease to be who we were, but we also at last transformed into who we were meant to be. Daniel is positioned at the dock's edge. You did all of this, Dad, beside his daughter, where it all started. Hannah whispers, no. Daniel corrects her, as she observes the community they have created. They succeeded. They simply needed a reminder of their true selves. Eagles Point Harbor serves as evidence that sometimes the most significant transformations start with a single brave act, and that real strength comes from assisting people in remembering who they were always meant to be rather than in instilling fear in them.